Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about a proper battle.
Good quality.
In this match, we played away against Mushamel, the team that we beat at home for our first 3 points of the season just before Christmas. We went into the game knowing that they would want revenge, but knowing that we had plenty of quality to be able to beat them. I was playing in the number 6 and I also wore the captain's armband. This match was characterised by our willingness to work hard for each other. Here, you see that we're trying to play out of the back, the ball goes to Frank, our left back, plays back to Dale, our left centre back, and as we try and play out, I'm trying to find space just in front of the box, but I'm marked quite tightly by 2 players. Ben decides to go long, and although nothing comes from that kick, we start the game in a pragmatic way, knowing that we can do the work out of possession to earn the right to play in possession. Right from the off, our desire in the challenge was very, very high. Here, as you see me forcing this player backwards, and they play a bit of a percentage ball across the pitch, which Raf does really, really well to cut out. We then try to play forwards, and then Frank, he settles the ball, seeing that there's nothing really on. We go back to Dale. Dale once again finds Rory across the back, and we want to play out. Here you can see me dropping in again, but there isn't too much space to play out the back, so Rory tries to hit the channel. Once again though, we respond really well. Immediately Andrew jumps to press, and as they play backwards, Emmanuel jumps to press their goalkeeper, putting them under pressure immediately. Paco gets involved as well, and we again force them to go long, and our centre-backs are going to clear this up all day, as Dale wins the first one, and I try to hold up the man on the second. Our out-of-possession work was the basis for our success in this match. As you see, Emmanuel working really hard to get across to the right centre-back, putting him under pressure. Makes it very easy for me to read this pass into midfield, and I intercept it and play a first-time pass with my left foot through to Emmanuel so he can get onto it. He's then in a really good opportunity against the goalkeeper, and he just puts his shot wide. Just like that, by working hard for each other and by setting the tone from the front, Emmanuel essentially created the chance for himself. As he shepherded the ball into a very crowded area in midfield, I was able to pick up the pieces and play him through. We created a chance almost from nothing. For any attackers watching, if you're able to make something out of nothing and make something out of these 50-50 moments when you're fighting for first and second balls, you create so much freedom for your team to play. You relieve so much pressure, as Emmanuel and McKeith do really, really well here to battle for the ball in advanced areas and make something out of simply a long ball. We're being pressed really high by Mushamel, but the fact that we're able to get out without us having to play 3, 4, 5 passes in risky areas of the pitch makes them second guess about pressing and jumping so high, then creating space for us to play a little bit more football out of the back. Now, if you ever want a good example of how a team can be a bit more disciplined in their press and respond to triggers instead of running like headless chickens, I think this is a very good one. Here, as the ball goes back across to the opposition left centre-back, Stephen steps up from the number 10, McKeith engages the fullback, and again, Stephen squeezes a little as the ball goes back to their left centre-back. Now, the ball's played across to the goalkeeper, and our whole team shifts and screen as you see Andrew steps up, and so I drop it in a little bit deeper to cover that midfielder. Then as that midfielder comes across, I let Andrew take him and I remain deeper so that I can see his shirt number. We win the first ball, and then Raf does well to win the second, plays it over the top, and okay, we don't keep the ball, but again, we return to our out of possession work, we return to our shape. I step up to make sure that this midfielder cannot turn, and we force them to play backwards. Okay, we haven't won the ball yet, but we're very comfortable with the opposition having possession in this area. Emmanuel responds well to a very slow pass, and that is the trigger for the press now as McKeith dives in, Stephen decides to step up, and I win the ball here from this player and slip it through to Emmanuel. He then finishes very, very coolly past the goalkeeper, and just like that, we spent about 60 seconds shifting, screening, being really patient in our press, waiting for the trigger. We responded, and we won the ball, and now we're 1-0 up. In this next play, we do well to recover the ball, McKeith fighting for the second and Stephen getting the third. I settle the ball and do well to turn out and try to play it away from pressure, but just overcomplicate the game as this pass into Frank is quite difficult for him to receive on the run. I think in that moment where you've just scored a goal and you're kind of a little bit buoyed with your confidence, my intention there was to get us on the front foot again, but I think it would have been a much better decision just to settle the ball, keep possession for our team, and take any sting out of anything that the opposition might throw at us now that they've conceded. Just moments later, we allow the midfielders to play a pass through and over our defence. We don't stop the cross and we don't track the runner, who gets a toe onto the ball, but Ben pulls out an incredible save at point blank range. I think many attackers can learn a lot from Emmanuel's performance on this day here as he battles with this player to push him off the ball, win it himself, and drives at the heart of the opposition defence. He then wins a free kick in a very dangerous area and we're able to advance. Around 20-25 minutes in to the first half, we stopped for a water break as the sun was scorching in that May weather in Spain. Here, as we finish our water break, you can see me speaking with my brother and centre-back Rowie as I talk to him a little bit about those moments that we're under pressure and when we need to hit the channels, just overhitting the ball, not worrying about trying to play a really precise pass, but being happy just to hit the spaces in behind because we know that we can respond to that if we lose the ball and we have the quality out of possession to be able to press the ball in high areas, win it back and create chances, just like we did for our first goal. Again, we restart the first half in the same vein that we started the game in general, as we press really well from the front and we don't let them get through. I just sweep up the ball here and could play a more precise pass either back to Ben or back to one of our centre-backs, but we do well to recover the ball. Now the opposition have stepped it up a little bit as Ben makes another really good save from this long distance strike. Once again, I cannot stop smiling as I think about our out of possession play this game. Look at Stephen pressing the goalkeeper, McKeith releasing immediately, and Raf, our right back, also stepping up from a very deep position to engage that player. I settle the ball now after McKeith does well to win it, and I find Andrew, who turns and tries to find the other side. Here, we recycle the ball, and we go all the way back to our goalkeeper, Ben. He calms it back down, finds Dale on the left-hand side, who looks to play forward and be positive. He finds Frank. As Frank receives the ball, he tries to inject some pace in the attack and goes for the 1-2 with Andrew, but Andrew recycles it instead, and Dale puts his foot on the ball, calms it down, plays it across to Rowie. Rowie's really smart here as he waits for the opposition to get across, toys with them, and then plays it back to where it came from. The Spanish players don't want to run anymore. Dale then steps in, finds Andrew, who sets it back to Frank. Frank plays back to Dale, and we're making the opposition work really hard. After that movement, Dale's able to find me, and again, I step through, find Paco, who finds Andrew, and then we work it all the way across to Stephen. Stephen plays a lovely ball over the top to McKeith, and just like that, we've played out of pressure and we've created a chance as McKeith's shot come cross just goes wide. As you know, it's almost impossible to press for a whole 90 minutes, and in this moment, we just get behind the ball and we allow the opposition to have possession of the ball around the halfway line. We do really well to shift and screen, denying any spaces within our shape and forcing them out wide. They play to their fullback, they realise that they can't really go forwards and they find the winger, but again, they come backwards, find their centre mid, they recycle the ball across, and we're very happy to shift and screen, especially being 1-0 up. Now, the centre back's on the ball, he tries to look forward and be positive, plays a pass out wide, and the centre mid has a really lazy touch. And look at my body language here as I applaud my teammates for working really hard for each other off the ball. I think it's very easy to congratulate people when they score a goal or when they get an assist, but can you be a leader? Can you be someone who inspires your teammates to work hard and do the dirty work, do the things that really aren't that enjoyable but are so necessary to be able to get the result that you want? This clip combines a lot of the positives from our first half as McKeith drives on the ball, beating one, beating two players, coming inside and just getting tackled, but Stephen picks up the pieces and plays a first time pass out to Paco. We know his ability in 1v1 situations. He toys with the defender a little bit and decides to come back to Frank, who then knows that I'm behind him. I'm aware that Raf's going to be on his bike here, and I try to hit the switch, put it in the space, but I put a bit too much weight on the pass or play it too early. Raf does really well still to keep it in play, but the opposition goalkeeper picks it up. Now, we need to be very careful as the opposition are about to counter. Rowie does well to pull out. Dale does well to cover from left centre-back to right centre-back, and you can see as I've dropped in there at a centre-back role. I see the ball's played in, and I decide to step out and try to win it. The referee's given a foul, it's the opposition's free kick, but I'm aware that we need some time to set up, and so I do something that I've learned very well in Spain, which is waste a little bit of time by kicking the ball away while the referee is not looking. Honestly, there are so many clips like this that I could show you from the first half, where we work really hard for each other out of possession, deny any spaces in dangerous areas from the opposition, win the ball, just as McKeith's done here, try to play direct. Emmanuel is then in a 1v1 situation, now a 1v2 situation, uses his trickery and footwork, could maybe release the ball a little bit earlier as the ball's taken off McKeith's toes, but again, we don't complain, we don't cry, we recover. As I settle the ball here, turn and find Raf, trying to keep the game going, trying to keep our attack flowing. He then is in a 1v1 situation and tries a left-footed cross and it doesn't quite come off. Once again, I need to recover the ball, I need to hold up the opposition team and make sure that they can't counter. And in general, we do really well both in and out of possession to deny the opposition chances and to create chances for ourselves. A perfect example of how the first half went. As we come out for the second half, here you can see me having a conversation with McKeith, who's been quite frustrated in the first half, feeling like he's not getting the service that he needs. So I try to talk to him about how in matches, sometimes we just go through phases. It's not something that he can control, the service that goes into him, but he's doing really well out of possession and in possession to work hard for the team and be effective. We walk onto the pitch together as we continue talking, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it with him. We dap each other up and we go again. Right from the off in the second half, we decide to go direct and try to put the opposition under pressure, having a lot of faith in our out of possession game to know that even if we lose the ball from the start, we're going to win it back. The ball gets played back into the middle of the pitch, and it's a bit of a battle with the bouncing ball with Rowie and the opposition defender. The ball gets played out to their right winger. Frank does really well just to slow the player down, hold him up, give him no space either side and stop him from crossing. As he holds him up, I realise that I can go out there to help him and just use my body to ease him off the ball and take it from him. I'm then looking for options, trying to calm it down a little bit, and I spot Steven, try to play it to him. I think it could be a higher quality pass, a little bit smoother along the ground, but he does well to set it back to Rowie. In this clip, I make quite a big mistake as Dale wins the first ball, it goes through to Frank, Paco tries to pick up the second. Here you can see me being the only centre mid marking the guy in front of Rowie, marking the opposition striker. But I jump out and try to win the ball off the toes. If that happens, I cannot miss the ball. I cannot let that ball go past me, because this is why the opposition was straight into our back four and they created the chance. And that was my fault for jumping and vacating a dangerous space. It would have been better to be patient, to be calm, protect the space that's dangerous and allow them to have the ball in a space that isn't. But as we've spoken about quite a lot on this channel, it's not about never making mistakes, it's about being able to recover and respond to them. Here, as I show for the ball from Raf and play the ball down the channel to Emmanuel, he does well to give his marker the slip, get in behind, and now it's a 3v2. He just makes the wrong decision and passes the ball too early. Now this is the bit that was a bit worrying for us. Our shape is very stretched, our backline had not stepped up, and it allowed the opposition to play through in just a matter of seconds and put us under pressure. I tried to cover Rowie here as the defender goes on the outside and forces another really good save from Ben. As the opposition team grow in confidence and start to put us under more pressure, I think I could have been more intentional to keep the ball for our team here, as I tried to play the ball first time and get our right back on the go, but I think it would have been better just to retain possession, allow us to get the ball under and allow us to start dictating the tempo of the game instead of playing to the speed that the opposition prefer. Remember, we're 1-0 up. It's on us to control the game and to take any positive momentum out of the opposition's game. As we allow the opposition to grow in confidence and in ability, they get more free kicks in dangerous areas, and here we don't do well enough to step out after the second ball. We allow this man to beat us on the outside and he whips in the ball. To be honest, I don't track my man, I allow him to run off the back of me and I wait for my centre-back to head a ball where even if the centre-back should attack it in that area, I need to do a lot better to stop my man from having a free run at the ball himself. Now we're at 1-1. On a scorching day, our coach brings off Steven and Emmanuel and brings off Henry in the number 10 and Olu up top. In this moment, where the ball is turned over and I drop in to act as a left centre-back. I think I could do better to read this pass earlier and get out to this player earlier, but even so, I still force him away from the goal, making the angle very difficult for him to be able to shoot. From the resulting free kick, the opposition take it short and strike another high-quality long shot, which Ben deals with very well. The game has become a little bit like basketball as it's quite end-to-end. Ben catches the ball here from an opposition free kick and decides that he wants to go long, knowing the ability that Olu has to assert his physicality and create problems for the opposition back four. That's exactly what he does. As they let the ball bounce, Olu manages to flick the ball onto McKeith, who comes inside, who then finds Olu with an awesome chance at goal, and he just leans back as he strikes it, striking it over the bar. With the attacking subs that we now have on the pitch, I view my role as one that facilitates that, as I here win the ball from the opposition midfielder and try to punch a pass into Olu's feet, but unfortunately he was coming back onside from an offside position. This was probably one of our best passages in the second half, as Dell does well to win the first ball, Paco picks up the second and finds me. I turn away from pressure and just calm the ball down again, realising that we need to play at our tempo. I punch it between the lines, find Paco, and he turns, finds Frank, plays it backwards to Andrew, and again he says let's calm the ball down with his own experience. Dale picks up the ball, looks for options, finds Andrew. Andrew tries to play forwards, sees that nothing's on, decides to come back and finds Dale. We're slowing the game down a little bit and playing at our tempo now, trying to control it. As Andrew then finds me, I play a first time pass through to Frank and he combines with Paco really well, and all of a sudden we've gone from defence to attack and creating chances. Henry picks up the second ball, tries to slip Olu through, but maybe could be a bit braver to carry the ball himself. Now it's about recovering ourselves, as I don't let this player go inside the pitch, force him away, and then get a toe on the next ball. Here you can see me turn to Henry and try to encourage him to be braver and trust himself on the ball, as I instruct Frank to play back to Dale. I then drop in again, really wanting the ball, and just try to get us moving once more, playing a higher speed pass out to our right back to try and help us to break a line. The opposition were fairly limited to creating chances through set pieces and any kind of free kicks in and around the box, which, to be honest, was a good thing to see that we defended very, very well, especially after the last couple of games where we conceded quite a lot from set pieces themselves. A lot of the work that I did personally was just trying to win the ball back, just trying to be a little bit of a terrier in midfield and play really, really simply to the players ahead of me who had more legs and who honestly have more quality in attacking areas. Understanding the ability of my teammates and what I'm good at versus what they're good at is really important to being a leader. Maybe I could have tried to be positive and drive and beat players myself in midfield, but at that point in the game, why would I not use the natural capabilities of players like Olu, of Henry, who just come on the pitch and who can change the game for us? Unfortunately, as hard as we tried to push for a second goal, we just couldn't find the cutting edge in the final moments, and to be honest with you, we walked away from the game feeling like we could have had more, but knowing that it was probably a fair result, especially given the number of saves and the quality of saves that Ben made throughout the game. This was one of the matches that I look back on with the most fondness when I think about our season, because it was truly a battle where I felt very connected to the brothers by my side and we worked really, really hard for each other out of possession. Okay, the result wasn't ideal, we should have won, we could have won, but this is football. And 1 or 2 moments can change it. I have to hold my hands up for not doing well enough to track that runner off the back of my shoulder. As always, ballers, I hope you learnt plenty from this video. I hope you found it entertaining as well. And please let me know in the comments if there's anything more specific that you want to see. Oh, and as we've hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I just wanted to say a big thank you to every single one of you. This channel is not for me, it's not about me, it's about you guys. I want to show you all of my mistakes and all of my learnings so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes and you can improve yourselves on your own footballing journeys. So with that in mind, if you are not a subscriber, go down and hit that subscribe button for me. Like the video, comment, let me know what you want to see more of, and I'll do my best to create content that you guys want. I hope you find a way to learn from any of your mistakes as you play football this week, ballers. And remember, ballers find a way.
You're a waste, man.
You're a waste.
Record.